Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour. I am your host, douglasb. You can listen to us live the first Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. here on your Lone Star Community Radio. As always, we're going to do a little housekeeping before we get started. You can contact Veterans Air through our website, www.veteransair.us. You can send us an email, leave us a message, or better yet, you can text us on our in-studio Google phone at 936-344-3083. Today's show I've entitled Heartbreak and Healing, because it is a show about heartbreak, a show about loss, but it's also a show about healing. I hope you walk away with the feeling that this show was about loss, but it was also about courage and learning how to live again. In the studio with me today, I have the current commander of VFW 4709, Marcey Philips, and past commander, Kelly Glass. They're going to talk to us today about the upcoming Red, White, and Boots Gala. But before we get to that, I have a sad duty. I have a duty to talk to you about loss, about some passings. And these passings affect me personally, and maybe you. In November of 2023, we lost Aggie Coach. Now, Aggie, a staunch supporter of veteran causes, was the wife of my dear friend and co-creator of Veterans Air, Master Chief Pete Coach. We lost Pete in the beginning of January. Yes, he died of a broken heart. Then I learned of the passing of my dear friend, my mentor, godfather of my daughter, my first commander, Colonel Raymond A. Omfroy. And I still can't believe it. The Omf was an original door kicker. I can't believe that he died. I can't believe that I've lost so many so quickly. Their passing hits me at the oddest times. I don't know if it's that I never learned how to grieve properly. Perhaps my soul doesn't know what to do with the hole left in my heart. But through this loss and the heartache, I have learned the last lesson that they were willing to teach me. And that lesson is, you're still alive. Have courage and keep living. And that's the message for today's show. Let me tell you about a man who has courage and who's learning how to live again. He came from a family with deep roots in the military. A son of a Vietnam veteran, he always knew that he was going to be a soldier. On September 11th, like so many of us, changed the course of his life forever. And this, my good listeners, is his story. Shortly after September 11th, he enlisted as a cavalry scout in the U.S. Army. His first deployment was to Schweinfurt, Germany, with the 1st Infantry Division. From Germany, he deployed to Iraq. On his second deployment to Iraq, with the 10th Mountain Division, he was assigned to a FOB near southern Baghdad. On February 19th of 2007, his armored vehicle was struck by a improvised explosive device known fondly as the IED. 700 pounds of explosive demolished the up-armored Humvee that he and his soldiers were riding in. 3 of his soldiers were killed instantly. His driver was injured. While he survived, maybe the worst was still to come. He was severely injured with third-degree burns over 35% of his body. The doctors gave him a 2% chance of living. With the severity of his burns, he lost both ears, most of his nose, and 3 fingers. The force of the explosion fractured his collarbone and C7 vertebrae. To stabilize him, he was put into a medically induced coma, where he remained for 48 days. They transported him first to Germany, then back to the great state of Texas. He spent nearly 3 years recovering and undergoing intensive physical therapy at the burn unit of the Brooks Army Medical Center, BAMC. That's in San Antonio, those of you that don't know. While at BAMC, he was the first soldier to participate in cutting-edge regenerative stem cell therapy, helping him to regrow the use of 3 of those fingers. Later, he received prosthetic ears. His recovery involved more than 75 surgeries, which required him and his family to spend at least 6 hours a day just on wound care. In 2010, he was medically retired from the Army. Now, any other man might call it quits due to these losses and these injuries, and who would blame him? But he comes from a different breed. He's a 10th Mountain soldier. And I've said many times before, and I'll say it again, 10th Mountain soldiers are descended from Spartans, and Spartans are descended from Hercules himself. See, this is how every 10th Mountain soldier lives. We never give up, and we never give in. He is a devoted Christian. He's a family man, committed to his 5 children. If you were to ask him about his injuries, his time in the military, and his continued fight with PTSD, he would tell you, quote, "Everything in life is a gift. Sometimes it may not be the gift you want, but you realize that your challenges are a new beginning." Today, he is a motivational speaker and the Coalition to Salute American Heroes national spokesman. He shares his story with groups around the country, raising awareness for PTSD and serving as an inspiration to his fellow soldiers. Who is this warrior, you might ask? Oh, he is Staff Sergeant Shiloh Harris, and you can meet him yourself, as he is the keynote speaker for this year's Red, White, and Boots Gala, being held by the VFW 4709. This gala is going to be on February 22nd, and Marcey and Kelly are going to talk to us about it. But before we get into that, I'm going to make some shout-outs before I forget. I want to shout out to Pit Stop Car Detailing. Young man lives across from me, and he did my car, Ravi, and she is spotless, or rather, she was spotless. Then we got all the rain and the leaves, and she needs to be done again. But great price. Young man is detail-oriented. It's Pit Stop Detailing. check them out. Also, got to send a shout out to my sponsors. I want to give a shout out to East Meets West Production, a full-service business and marketing consulting agency helping veterans start and fund their businesses for 30 years. For more information, call 361-904-0044. And of course, to our good friend Andrea, and I believe, Dick, we have a commercial for Andrea and United Healthcare. If you're on Medicare or you're about to get on Medicare, give Andrea a call. Listen to these messages. We'll be right back.
Medicare can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. My name is Andrea Corpening, and I am an agent authorized to offer AARP Medicare plans from United Healthcare Insurance Company. I can guide my clients through understanding Medicare coverage options and help them discover what may make AARP Medicare plans from United Healthcare a great choice. I can be reached at 281-773-6239. That's Andrea Corpening at 281-773-6239. I can help those find a plan with confidence.
Welcome back to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour, your source for news, talk, and uncensored commentary. Before our break, I said we're going to talk about the VFW 4709 Red, White, and Boots Gala. And we're going to, well, I'm not going to. Marcey Philips, current commander of the VFW 4709, and past commander Kelly Glass, they're here to talk to you. Marcey, Kelly, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing me my girlfriend. You all can't see, but Bené's under the table.
She's snoring very loudly.
Really
Well, you know, she works really hard keeping you
does.
on the straight and narrow.
Someone's
It's
got to.
taxing. It's taxing.
It is exhausting.
So, the Red, White, and Boots Gala is February 22nd.
correct.
And this is the second year that we're doing it.
Correct. And it's not, we say gala because, you know, we're super classy here in Conroe, but
We
we're
are.
that classy. Like, we don't need to come in evening gowns and stuff. It's a question we've been getting. We put Texas formal on there. So boots and blue jeans, totally fine. Something comfortable that, you know, just don't like mow your lawn and then come with, you know, grass stains and stuff.
Bit upset. I just purchased a new beautiful taffeta gown that I'm going to look absolutely stunning in.
You're going to have to wear it somewhere else. We got a few suggestions.
Wear it to the meeting.
There you go.
Nice. I'll let you in.
You have to support us. So, let's get all the. Let me borrow your sheet here. Let's get all the stuff out of the way. It is February 22nd, between 5 and 9 p.m. Mm-hmm. It's being held at the Springs Event Center. That's at 14135 Laramie Trail in Montgomery.
Beautiful location.
Beautiful
Yes.
location. I have been out there. Mm-hmm. I actually did a wedding out there.
Did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did. And as I said before the break, Staff Sergeant Harris is going to be our keynote speaker.
Yes.
Sir.
We are so excited to have him. He's hilarious.
I am so excited. I get excited every time I can meet another 10th Mountain soldier.
Well, there is that. Because, you know, y'all are gods among men.
I can't believe I'm the only mountain soldier in our post. That's like,
The only one that'll claim it.
Yeah.
ooh, ooh, them be fighting words.
I've never heard anyone else claim it.
All right.
So, no, I do love me some 10th Mountain guys, but
Oh, thank you. I love y'all too. So this is the second year.
Yes.
Tell us a little about how this came about. What was the onus to do this the first time? Obviously, the first time was very successful, or we wouldn't be doing it again.
right. So what's kind of come about is a lot of people don't realize that the VFW doesn't get any funding from outside sources. So everything that we do requires us to do fundraising. Bingo is one of our largest fundraisers, but it's very cyclical. So When money is good for our bingo players, then bingo's doing well. When money's not good for our bingo players, bingo's not doing well. Therefore, we're not doing well. Everything we do is a fundraiser for our veterans programs. We got to the point where bingo wasn't doing too great. We had a lot of very large expenses that came in all kind of in a row, between the roof that was 40 grand,
Right.
3 different air conditioners went out. The bar top crumbled and broke. The grease trap broke. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. And our kitchen started flooding. That's kind of been our big albatross that we've got right now, is that kitchen. It's been closed for over a year. We've kind of had our hands tied with a little bit of red tape. City of Conroe has been fantastic trying to work with us to help us through the process, but it's been a very long process of figuring out who's responsible for what with regard to some of the flooding issues. But the city has come in and put in a ditch to help mitigate some of the water that runs off of the park and into our building. They have also just Monday finished a project to abandon a storm pipe that was leaking in our parking lot that was causing some sinkholes. So now that that is complete, we are waiting on permitting from the city to be approved to redo our grading and drainage plan that will help finally push the water in the direction it needs to go, so that it's no longer, funneling into that newer addition. And this part of the building was added in 2018. So it's newer construction. This is not the old side of the building that's receiving all the water. It's the new one, the new commercial kitchen. And that commercial kitchen is what gives us the ability to continue to serve in an emergency. So
What the rest of Conroe, Montgomery County, may or may not know is this. The VFW, our VFW, is one of the main supporters when there's an emergency. During the hurricane and flood, our last big hurricane and flood, this is even before we had the big kitchen.
right.
I think we served something around 48,000 meals.
It's something crazy like that.
Close to that.
It was
I'm-
exhausting.
It was, and friends
There's
of
an assembly
Conroe's.
line of sandwiches being made.
Yeah.
It
There was
was
5-gallon buckets of eggs being scrambled with a paint stirrer.
Yep.
It was amazing that we were able to do that, and it was fortunate that at that time we had the funds to be able to do that.
Right.
Right.
The VFW doesn't get any grants, doesn't get anything from the federal government, doesn't get anything from the state government.
Nothing.
Everything that the VFW is able to do is supported by the community,
Correct.
by people making donations.
Correct.
When those donations dry up, because money's tough, and the reason money's tough is because people don't understand Bidenomics. So it's tough. And we see small businesses, mom and pops, closing left and right. Just drive downtown and you'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
People don't have the discretionary funds that they had in prior years.
Right.
And we can definitely feel that pinch.
Absolutely.
Galas like this, or events that the VFW does, we hope for donations. And the reasons that we hope for donations is not for the glory and the benefit of the VFW membership, but to benefit Montgomery County,
Right.
to benefit the veterans, the family of veterans, and the general public.
Right.
I can't think of one instance since I've been involved with our post that someone has come to us and said, we need, and we didn't find the money somewhere, somehow.
Right. And for example, we have scholarships, and those scholarships we've had to cut tremendously how much we give in scholarships. We used to give, I think, 2,000 for first place, 15 for second, and 1,000 for third. Now we're lucky if we can get approval for 1,000 for first place. And I mean, these kids don't have, I mean, other people are feeling it too. They don't have as many scholarship opportunities all the time. And this is a very unique scholarship that we offer because we offer it from 6th through 8th grade and then also 9th through 12th. And both scholarship programs, as well as our Teacher of the Year program, Scouts, everybody, we've had to cut dramatically how much we're able to give back to the community because
Marcy's talking about on the scholarship, she's talking about the Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen,
Right.
which we promote here on this station all the time.
all the time.
And thank
Thank
you
you.
for that.
Yes, thank you, big time. But you know, the part of the reason, and it's hard to explain this to kids all the time, is because when we have homeless veterans come in and ask for help on Thanksgiving, a guy walked in the post and needed help, and you know, I mean, I get phone calls all the time. I'm on the phone with our state homeless chairman this morning. I mean, it's constant. We've got issues with homeless in this community, and the VFW plays a very big part in helping to try to prevent it. Because when veterans call and they say, I can't pay my electric bill and I'm behind on my rent, great, here's some grants for the electric bill. Let us help you get caught up on rent. Let us help with all these things if we have the funding. If we don't have the funding, then all we can be is a glorified Google and send them to other resources. And that's not what we're here for.
Right, and recently our funding has been going towards the building
Right.
because of the issues that we have in the building, trying to keep it
Right.
up and running properly.
I think there's a misconception about the VFW in general out there. Those that come into the post understand it, but for the general public that doesn't, it may be difficult to understand. The post has two main areas. It has the bingo hall,
Correct?
which you, by the way, can rent. There, you can rent the bingo hall for your function.
Absolutely.
You don't need to be a member. You can just rent it. Go on the website, vfw4709.org, and click on hall rental. You can rent that hall.
Yeah.
And the other side of that is our canteen. Now, the VFW does not own the canteen. The VFW doesn't give funds to the canteen.
Correct.
The canteen gives funds to the VFW.
Correct.
And one of the things that the VFW has just recently done to help with that funding, because the VFW is hurting, is it's opened the canteen to all honorably discharged veterans,
Right.
their families, first responders, firemen, and law enforcement officers, and anyone that works in those departments.
Right.
You can come to the canteen, pay $20, and you can hang out with us for a year
Right.
and drink cheap beer.
We are the cheapest in town, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that we are too.
I'm pretty sure.
That's how dire the need is for donations at the VFW. Because without donations, the VFW closes its doors. And when I say it closes its doors, it means it can no longer perform its mission. And what is the mission of the VFW?
To be historical, educational, and patriotic, to help all veterans, including non-eligible veterans. We help all veterans, their families, and surviving spouses.
And we are the premier organization in Montgomery County that does that.
Yes.
And this year, our major donation is okay. I have to take a break.
Sorry, your girlfriend's making noises
Is girlfriend
down here.
coming to the gala?
Yes, she'll be at the gala. I haven't decided what she's going to wear yet, but she'll be there.
Okay, because I don't think Patriots met
Oh,
my
really?
girlfriend. I don't remember her meeting my girlfriend. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
We're
So-
talking about my service dog for the rest of the world who doesn't know which girlfriend is under the table right now that he's referring to.
See, you should have come out and gotten your pictures taken so we could have put a picture of Benay up there.
True.
The gala is this year's premier event to raise funds.
Yes, sir.
Now, Kel, I understand that you're wearing two hats these days. One is the trustee,
Yes, sir.
and one is the events coordinator. You're sharing this duty with Kristen.
Yes, that's correct. She's a little radio shy.
She is a little radio shy.
She is.
But
She
we
was
love her.
she was invited, but we love her. It's okay.
She is an amazing organizer.
I
of
got
events.
a timeout on this one. She's actually wearing a gazillion hats this year because she's doing that for our post. She's also the trustee on the district level. But this lady right here is our state of Texas VFW Honor Guard captain. She is in charge of a team of people who make us look really good at all of our events and any other events that they're asked to go to, like the World Series, places like that where they do flag presentations, present colors at different
We got one coming up
events.
in May at the NRA banquet
So,
in Dallas.
We do. Ooh,
yeah,
can you slip me a ticket there?
you might know a guy.
we do the VFW does have an amazing honor guard, and it's a combined armor guard.
Honor Guard.
Guard.
I knew what
Thank
you meant.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like morphine brain.
She's also on. I forgot. She's also on our Post Honor Guard. So yes, our Post Honor Guard is combined with the American Legion 411, and we've now got some American Legion 618 folks on it that kind of wear both hats as well.
So we can always be available
so,
for the local
yeah.
community and our veterans in the community when they need honors. Because
Yeah.
everybody deserves honors when they pass.
Everybody deserves honors,
Yes.
but the honor guard / color guard, if you will, serves another purpose more than just final honors to our fallen veterans. If you're an organization or a patriotic organization, let's say, and you need to post colors at your event, our color guard will show up and post colors for you.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So keep watching the VFW4709.org website. You're going to see soon a place where you can
Request.
request
the
that.
honor guard.
They also do education. So because part of our congressional charter is to be historical, educational, and patriotic, we go to places like Primrose School of Conroe and lots of other schools around, and we teach what the colors of the flag mean, what the Pledge of Allegiance is, what the 13 folds mean, things like that. We have little certificates we give the kids for the Pledge of Allegiance. All of those ways of teaching Americanism to our youth are part of what make us so strong in this community. And those certificates aren't free. The gas in that van isn't free. The insurance isn't free.
The repairs. on the
The repairs. Don't get me started. I got one van down right now. Don't get me started. But it is an ongoing expense all the time. And so when the Honor Guard does come out to something and they get an honorarium donated to them and it comes back to the post, we utilize that to help fund the mission of the Honor Guard. Anything above and beyond helps go towards our Americanism and youth programs and things like that because they are an integral part of that process as well. But that's just one more example of programs that have been cut. We never like to say no to a family whenever they ask for honors. So we will cut a program at a school before we cut honors at a funeral. But if I don't have enough volunteers because we don't have enough uniforms, we couldn't afford to get the uniforms or whatever, then we don't have a big enough honor guard to serve the over 40,000 veterans in Montgomery County. And that's where we struggle is it's the misconception that, oh, you're congressionally chartered, so the federal government must pay your bills. No.
Not at all.
We're 501c19, so we can't even get all the grant funds that are out there because they're written for 501c3s. So the list goes on and on. The bottom line is our community is amazing. We are in such a patriotic and military-centric community that once they understand that, they jump on board. And that's what we need to do is help to continue to get the message out. Because if people don't know you need help, they're not going to give it.
Right.
It's not an automatic. I say that actually, Wiesner. Thank you, Wiesner. We love you. They have a perpetual donation to us every month. And I can't thank them enough. We absolutely are so grateful. Every month they show up with that check and say, here you go, we love you guys. Things like that, people in our community that understand our mission and have the heart to help us complete it really are what make this whole thing worth continuing to do and beat our heads against the wall.
And you are 100% correct. I wasn't born in Texas, but I got here as fast as I could. And I've lived all across the United States. I've lived in Europe. I've lived in the East. And personally, I've found that Texas, and specifically Montgomery County, the outpouring of help and support from your neighbors is just amazing. When you remember a couple of years ago, I flooded. Mm-hmm. And who was the first person that showed up with garbage bags? Didn't even have to ask. During the hurricanes, we were trapped inside my tiny little community of 5 streets. Trees were down all over the place. We couldn't get out, yada, yada. I was the only one with a generator. Get that generator running, and everybody would come fill up their, top off their phone charges and whatnot. Ran out of gas. Neighbors showed up with gas. All the barbecues went to the street. Everybody started cooking their food, passing it out among each other. That's Texas.
Right.
That's Texas in a nutshell. And we've been very fortunate at the VFW that we are in Texas. I talked to other members of VFWs in other states and whatnot, and they're not as fortunate as we are to be here in Texas. Mm-hmm. But for all that the VFW does for veterans, all veterans, their dependents, and the community at large, all that can come to a screeching halt if we don't have enough funds to be able to do that.
Right.
And everybody needs to know that all of the officers and all the people at the VFW, they don't take a paycheck. They do this because they feel the need to serve their fellow veterans and the community.
We have one officer that is a paid position, and that's our quartermaster, and he's there.
He deserves
a
it.
gazillion days a week. I mean, the guy lives there, I swear. There's a $250 a month stipend for the commander. I do take that now because I went back and calculated how much money I actually spend as the commander. And so I opted to take. Yeah, you told me. You kept telling me, Marcey, you're spending more than $250 a month, and I was like, no, I'm not. And I went back and calculated it. I'm still spending way more than $250 a month. But yeah, it ends up being $212 a month to be there, and it is a lot of work.
And I have to say, let me just interrupt for just a moment. I have to say, Commander Philips here, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 24/7 job. She is on the phone nonstop, helping veterans in need, and she's got all her feelers out in the community. She knows what she's doing. I mean,
Thank you. I learned a lot from Kelly.
She's
pretty amazing, y'all.
Thank you.
Kelly and Marcey, I gotta tell you, you guys are the best in my book, and this is why I call and text you guys all the time because, But anyway, let's get back to the gala.
Yes.
So,
sorry. Squirrel.
We're gonna have Staff Sergeant Harris as our keynote speaker.
Yes.
And I'm very, very excited for that. You listeners you may not recognize the name Sergeant Shiloh Harris, but you recognize him because of his volunteer work. You see him on the TV, on commercials, infomercials, all the time. Gary Sinise, as a matter of fact, I mispronounce his name all the time, so Gary, if you're listening, I'm sorry. He actually did the voiceover for Sergeant Harris's story. Very poignant, very, very, very moving. So he's going to be our guest speaker, and I'm assuming that we're selling sponsorships and tickets. So how do people sponsor? How do people get tickets?
Okay,
Absolutely.
so I will encourage you to go to vfw4709.org and click on our gala information. It's going to reroute you to a website called Give Butter. If you freak out, don't freak out. Give Butter is where you're supposed to be once you
Yes.
click on that. It's got a little thing where you can hit donate and tickets, and it's got a little drop down that has different options, different sponsorships, whether it's the hydration station or, whatever. We got lots of different stuff. Miss Linda Ward sponsored the meal. Thank you so much, Miss Linda. She's amazing. So excited for that. We've had a ton of people. Mayor Pro Tem Maddox, Councilman Yancey, they got a table. We've got DJ sponsorship, L Squared Engineering.
Yep.
Man,
We've got a table sponsor for the Honor Guard.
Yes.
We've got a table
I
sponsor.
was just gonna
for
say,
our auxiliary.
who was that? Who was that table sponsor for the Honor Guard? Oh yeah, Veterans Air.
This guy right across
Veterans
from us.
Air. This guy. No.
Okay,
So we've got great opportunities, or just a ticket. So a ticket to come for veterans, first responders, or auxiliary members is $50. So please join us for the evening. Come out, help support the post, have a great meal by Joe's Italian, and
is it chicken?
I don't know. I didn't even ask him. I just said, "Hey, Joe, feed these people,"
Oh.
and Joe said, "Consider it
He
done."
usually brings a
A
little,
little bit of
both.
yeah.
Okay, I got to give a shout out to Joe's
Yes,
Italian. This man is amazing.
Yes.
You probably drive by his restaurant multiple times during the day on 75. You usually see a bunch of political signs in his front yard of it.
You can
And-
barely see his building.
Yeah, that's right.
because of the sign.
and you miss the Joe's Italian sign, but he's fantastic. Every time the VFW is having an event or is doing a class, we did the classes for suicide prevention, which was excellent, by the way. Joe's Italian just, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
And we just show up and there's food there.
Look
It's
at the
amazing.
back of his building.
Yes, that's what I was going to mention.
Drive around to the back
Backside
of Joe's
of his
building. It's got the VFW painted on the wall.
I have never been back. I'm going to go by.
You've got to go look. It's got the VFW. It's got our helicopter. It's got the branch symbols. He's
He's a hell
Joe
of a
loves
guy.
But
us,
it's not
and
just
we love
veterans.
Joe.
He serves
He
the
served-
first
yeah.
responders like nobody's business. I mean, he's the first
I
one
know.
in town. They'll start serving meals to people.
Yeah,
and
Joe's amazing.
He is.
takes care of everybody.
So everyone, go to Joe's Italian.
Yes, they're closed on Mondays, but other than that, the soup is back right now. So until March, I think.
I stole this from you so that I can read off the sponsorships.
Well, some of
So-
them are taken already, but yeah, go ahead.
When you go over to Give Butter, you'll see the sponsorships and ticketing information. You can sponsor the program printing.
Done.
It's like $400. DJ sponsoring,
Done.
$500.
Those are done.
Oh, those are done.
Those two are both done. We need
Auxiliary
the
table.
We need the auxiliary table.
Auxiliary table. Dessert sponsorship.
We need that.
You said someone's doing hydration station.
No, we need someone to do
Hydration station.
So those
please,
three we need.
Please donate and buy the sponsorship for the hydration station because I drink a lot of Diet Dr Pepper. All sponsorships will include event signage promoting your sponsorship, social media ads on our website, and other social media sites. So if the guy who's doing our website,
Who's that guy?
I don't know, but he's slacking because he doesn't have any of the sponsorship up there.
Kristen
on
is
him.
creating those today. She's created most of them. We finalized some of those at breakfast.
You can also do a table for 8 guests. You can do a group table plus reserve seating for 8 guests, 2 drink tickets per person, a special gift, VFW 4709 canteen membership for a year, T-shirt voucher, and 1-year annual VFW membership if you're an eligible veteran for a table of 8 guests. Wow.
I know.
I didn't know this. General admission for open to the public is $75 per person, but it's not reserved seating. It's first comes, first served, so go get your ticket. This is happening on the 22nd of February. So go get your ticket now. Military, veteran, first responder, spouses, VFW auxiliary, $50 per person. If you're currently an active military, please choose this option. If you're active military, a veteran, first responder, a spouse thereof, or a VFW auxiliary member, first come, first serve, and it is a cash bar.
Yes, it is a cash bar.
So we still have sponsorships open.
We still do. We have a few open. Just come. Just come join us. Even if you can't do a sponsorship, just come have dinner with us.
If
and
you
learn.
feel like if you don't have something on here that you can sponsor, we are still accepting auction items,
Yes.
live and silent auction items.
Oh, I forgot about
So,
that.
yeah.
Tell us about the auctions.
The auction. So we have live and silent auction both. We have some gun auction items.
yes.
Quite a few actually.
Yes.
How
Thank
many?
you, Chris Sadler with Honor Cafe
Yes.
for helping out with that.
Oh, these are Chris's weapons?
These
yes.
are
I'm
Chris.
definitely bidding on them.
I know. You know Chris. He's gonna pick the good stuff.
Chris ain't got no junk.
No, he doesn't.
You know, he gave me my 10th Mountain rucksack.
Oh, did he?
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I was whining about how being in the 10th Mountain put me in this condition that I am, in the rucksacks and whatnot. He says, I have one. Now, would you sell it to me? He said, here you go.
He's so sweet.
He is. If you don't know who we're talking about Chris from the Honor Cafe. And if you have not been to the Honor Cafe yet,
gotta go
then
try it.
you've missed something really, really
Get
special.
the queso.
Do the
So
cookies.
we've got tank rides.
Tank rides?
Tank rides.
What's a tank ride?
Well,
You
you
know,
get in a tank.
Is it an
Beep
Abrams?
beep.
is
Well, you don't get a choice. There's four different options. There's It's going to be in College Station, the Museum of the American GI, and there are tank rides. So it'll be 2 tank rides and 2 tickets into the museum. And
this is
will
being
be in the
auctioned
live
off?
auction.
Driven
and
by-
They're driven by World War II reenactors, like in full gear, teaching you about World War II and everything going on. It's like a living history tank
Petra?
ride.
Petra,
pennies.
baby.
Save your pennies, Petra.
Valentine's Day is coming. I would
Who doesn't
accept a
want a tank
voucher
ride?
for an auction for that.
Right?
Oh my God!
It's gonna
It's
be
for 2
fun.
people.
It's two different tank rides. You don't get to drive it. You don't get to shoot anything. You don't get to blow stuff up. I'm sorry, but one person will get a ride, and the next person will get a ride. Kind of thing. Yeah.
Brother Johnny, are you listening?
Right.
There you go.
You're coming to Texas
Come on.
anyway.
Come on,
you
brother
go.
Johnny.
Now
telling
you've got
you.
a reason to come, aside from Dougie Fresh.
Aside from Doug. So Connie McNabb, our community photographer, has donated this beautiful yellow rose portrait, limited edition, to be auctioned off. And then she's also auctioning off herself. So she does a lot of events. Where
Sandy
she
know
does
this?
photography. No, not like that. Not like that. So she does photography for a lot of events, and she is going to be auctioning off her photography for an evening where she can come to your event and do what you need, and then all your editing and everything.
As a
So-
photographer, as Texas Grades Photography, I'm going to say that Connie is much better than I am.
Oh, don't say that.
Much better.
She's fantastic.
She-
She really
She is. Her event photography is top notch. Her wildlife photography is just unbelievable. Did you
She's
see the
so
picture
good.
of the bald eagle? Yeah.
Yes, she's so good.
Yeah.
So we've got that. So we've got guns. We've got the 2 Connies, the tanks. I'm trying to think. We've got a ton of
And
stuff.
we've still got stuff coming in. So
Yeah.
there will be a
Really
lot more
cool
once we get there.
humidor. Really cool humidor basket with some cigars
From
and
Carl?
stuff. Carl's helping with the cigars. The humidor itself is from Larry. Larry Erie is a member of our post and a member of American Legion 411, and he has donated a plethora of items that he is a collector of all sorts of things. So he got a Coca-Cola Barbie collector thing that we're going to be able to auction off, a Red Ryder BB gun collector's thing, a G.I. Joe Harley Davidson model, all kinds of really cool stuff that he's been able to donate from his collection, all still in the boxes, perfectly preserved. Really neat stuff.
Yes.
A cast iron Uncle Sam bank.
Larry was my adjutant when I was commander over
Yeah.
there at the the American Legion. He made me my dress cane, which
Oh,
I use
he
as a
donated
dress.
two
Oh, yeah, there's
canes.
2 canes.
They're absolute gorgeous canes, aren't
Yes.
they?
He
Absolutely
does
gorgeous.
beautiful work. One has a VFW coin in the top of it. So yeah, he's donated all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Larry's so
he
sweet.
put the Army icon
Okay,
in pewter, wrapped it around the cane.
very cool.
And we've got
Super
some
nice.
consignment auction items that are coming in as well. We haven't finalized
Yeah, we're
all of those yet.
Judge Valdez, I believe, might be donating a purse. I believe she said, if I remember correctly. Just so many people that have been so supportive of us, and Tiff's Treats and Nothing Bunt Cake have both been very sweet to donate some of the dessert items. So we're really excited about
The drinks are coming
that.
from
The Highland
Highland.
is donating tea. But auction items wise is probably where, if you're wanting to give back but you can't make it, kind of a thing, but you could donate an auction item, let us know.
Yeah.
And we can definitely work with you. We are looking for trips.
Yes.
Like if anyone has a 2-night stay at whatever place for our bead game.
Or even like a
Well,
hunting
you think
trip.
Or a hunting trip or
you think
something.
Kristen will donate her cruise?
No,
Ah, I
I
she
think
is
so.
not giving up a cruise. Are you kidding? That woman, she should have
She's a
been born on
cruiseaholic.
on a ship.
She needs an intervention.
Yeah, she might need an intervention.
She might.
So you can go over to Give Butter or the VFW 4709.org, click on events, go to the gala and purchase your tickets or sponsorship right there.
Right.
When are we cutting this off?
What did we say? A week before?
I think we said 1 week prior on the auction items.
Yeah, so we can get everything photographed and get it documented so that we can
Right.
have everything ready to go.
So 1 week prior.
So that gives you all 2 weeks
Right.
to get over there and get this done.
Right. Now, ticket sales will continue until we fill all the booties in the seats. So, but please go ahead and buy them now so
Yeah.
we kind of have a better idea
Yeah.
on the count.
Get your tickets. Don't miss that.
The more the merrier.
Yes.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head how many people this venue can hold?
360 something is what it can hold.
Yeah.
We told them we wanted to plan for 300 so we'd have room for auction items along the walls and everything. So,
How have sales been going so far?
so far so good. I mean, it's never really like boom fast. Everything's done. Everything kind of trickles in.
Just recently, we've
but-
had, like
but
in the
we-
last 2 weeks, there's been quite a bit
Yeah.
coming in, sponsorship-wise for some of those items. Yeah, so.
But individual ticket sales been a little bit slower. So I think people,
Wait
are
till
trying to
last
find a
minute.
group to come together and get a full table. I think is what people try to do. And
Get your tax
which is-
returns done and buy a table.
hey, that's a good idea.
So there's a question. There's a question I had. So if you buy a ticket to this, or you buy a sponsorship, is that tax deductible?
Yes, it is.
We're a nonprofit.
We are a nonprofit organization. It is. It says donate and tickets on the thing, so you would get a donation. It's going to the nonprofit, so it would go in as 501c19 donation.
Business owners out there, this is a good opportunity to get the deductions for next year taxes started out now. B, give back to your community. C, be recognized as being an integral part of your community.
True.
And last but not least, hang out with us. Because I'm
Right.
going to be there.
Why
I
wouldn't
know.
you want to hang
Why
out
wouldn't
with
you want to hang out with us? We're awesome.
That's right. We're fun. I'll even pose for a picture.
Ooh, watch out. I'm going to take a
Might
picture.
even give you a kiss.
Beignet will probably lick you in your mouth. You have to watch out for her.
If you're bringing treats, Benet's neglected.
Don't do it.
Her mother never feeds. She told me that you never feed her.
I know.
She told me.
Y'all, Doug bought a bed for my dog.
For the
And it
office.
sits in the VFW. She has a bed now, and she knows that's her territory. She did.
She loves it.
Well,
She
that's
loves
because
it.
you made her lay on the cold, hard floor.
I know. She's got a fur
I mean, at
coat
least
on.
mine had a kennel with a blanket in
Oh
it.
my gosh, y'all are terrible. I know. Look, I apologize. I'm a terrible dog mom.
You're
It's
learning.
a good thing Doug
You're
loves
learning.
you.
All right, where we at time-wise, Dick? On what? I'm always over. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you to Marcey and Kelly for coming on the show and telling us about this. I want to thank you for putting together this gala. I'm glad that I can be there for it and whatnot. Sit me at a real cool table.
Thank you for helping us put it out
Sure.
there.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that I have to say is something that we at the VFW, and including myself, do very poorly on, is advertising our events.
Very true.
Getting the word out there.
Yeah, I agree.
If we had some type of magic formula
Yes.
to be able to get the word out there, I think the community would embrace us wholeheartedly.
Right.
So if you're an advertising company out there, and yes, I'm talking to you, you can donate your services. We'd be appreciated. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm going to leave you this month, as I do every month, with the Warrior Song by the Warrior Song Project. And while we're listening to it, let us remember our police, firemen, first responders, and military in uniform that today are standing in harm's way for our freedoms and our liberties. If you are wearing the uniform, I want to say to you, thank you. I want to say to you that I'm proud of you. And until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
Stand next to me, you'll never stand alone. I'm last to leave, but the first to go.